Now, welcome back to Prospect Hut, and we're going to talk about Mets prospects here. I'm going to talk about SNY's mid-season top 30 prospects. I'm going to analyze it and see what they had to say about it. Now, before we get into this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button and like this video and leave comments. I have my own opinions on some of the things that I've read in terms of, scouting reports and what people are saying about all these different Mets prospects. I would mention I've not seen any of them. Maybe Christian Scott, obviously I've seen the majors. Okay, here we go. Mets updated mid-season top 30 prospects for 2024. Brandon Sprout and Ryan Clifford are having breakout seasons. I would mention the everyday players, the position players for the Mets in their minor leagues have really struggled this year. Some of them have been injured. Some of them haven't had good performances, but the pitching side has been really good. So just so we get that out of the way, the perception of the Mets system continues to grow in the eyes of the evaluators as well as public outlets. Recently, both Baseball America and Fangraphs ranked the Mets system as the number 10 system in the sport. That's interesting. This comes despite some mostly lost years due to injury for a few players who will be on the list below. The Mets were happy with the results of their first MLB draft under David Stearns and Vice President of Amateur Scouting, Chris Gross. You'll see a few of those players highlighted on this list. At the trade deadline, the Mets only parted with two prospects who would have made this top 30 list: Cade Morris and Tyler Stewart, who have been number 24 and 25 respectively. This continues the plan that has been since Steve Cohen bought the franchise and Stearns took over as president of baseball operations. They're going to try to win now, but also keep an eye on the future so the success can be sustained and not just a one-year thing. That could be a hard needle to thread, and it takes time to get that fully in motion. The writer says, I think that time is nearing, as you will see a lot of ETAs for reaching the majors on these prospects as are within a year or two. Here is my post-draft trade deadline top 30 Mets prospects list. And of course, I'll give you my thoughts on some of this stuff as well. First up, infielder, center fielder Jeb Williams. Jeb played in only 11 games this season before undergoing wrist surgery. He's working out, and there's some hope he could get into game action before the season is out. But if not, playing in the Arizona Fall League is a possibility. I know sometimes prospects are out of sight and out of mind, but let's not forget the type of talent like Williams is. He is a top-notch talent. The biggest knock on him is his size. He's 5'6". He has solid bat-to-ball skills, plus plate discipline and sneaky power. He's a plus athlete, and that shows on the base paths and in the field, where he can play all three up the middle spots. Williams has a chance to be a dynamic, top-of-the-order type of player. From what I could tell, what I read before this season, he's going to be an everyday player that's going to be an impactful player. He can hit. That's the most important thing. He can hit, and he's got good defensive range, and he can run. He steals a lot of bases last year for the Mets and the minor leagues. Number 2, Christian Scott. Scott is currently on the Major League injured list with a right UCL sprain. Only time will tell how that pans out, and he's just 4 innings shy of losing rookie and prospect eligibility. The results have been uneven at the big league level, but a lot of the issues have to do with location within the zone. There is no debate that Scott is a strike thrower, and he can throw all 4 of his pitches for strikes. The next step in his development will be finding ways to miss barrels in the zone. I see no reason to deviate from my previous proclamation of him being a mid-rotation starter with a chance for more. Scott needs to clean up some of the small things and remain healthy. I agree. He's a mid-rotation starter at worst, and we'll see if he's get better. Drew Gilbert, number 3. Much like Williams, Gilbert was a bit out of sight, out of mind due to a hamstring injury that occurred on April 6th. He didn't return to AAA Syracuse until July 23rd, and he still is adjusting to being back in lineups nearly every day. It was just a few months ago that there was debate whether he was the top prospect in the Mets organization, after he posted 984 OPS with Double-A Binghamton after joining the Mets organization in the Justin Verlander trade. Gilbert may not be the most tooled-up prospect, but he's above average across the board, and is a true gamer who's always going 100%. Gilbert has enough range for center field and enough arm for right field, and he should factor into the outfield equation for the Mets sometime in 2025. I would mention he's been compared to Lenny Dykstra and Brett Gardner in particular. Number 4 on this list is Ryan Clifford. Clifford, the second prospect acquired in last deadline's Verlander deal didn't come out of the gates the way Gilbert did. Big part of that was playing for High A Brooklyn. The wind coming off the water in Coney Island has impacted left-handed power hitters as long as it has existed. You name a left-handed power hitter who came to the Mets system in the last 15 years or so, and they all struggled to hit for power in Brooklyn. Clifford only had 1 home run in 31 games for Brooklyn. The Mets believed in the batted ball data as well as his plan at the plate and promoted him to Double-A Binghamton. After an adjustment period, he has 13 home runs in 63 Double-A games. He has the best power tool in the Mets system, routinely posting plus exit velocities, and also has plus play discipline. He can stand to be a little more aggressive early in counts, as at times you will miss pitches to hit early in order to work counts. That isn't the worst thing, as one scout told me. Quote, "It is easier to teach someone to be more aggressive than it is to teach someone to be more patient." Defensively, Clifford has split time between first and the corner outfield spots, but as a below-average athlete, the expectation from scouts is first base is his most likely long-term home. Number 5 on this list, Brandon Sprout, right-handed pitcher. Biggest positive story in the Mets system this year has been the emergence of Sprout. He was the Mets' second-round pick in 2023 out of Florida, and in his first professional season, he made 6 appearances with High A Brooklyn and 11 appearances with Double-A Binghamton, where he posted a 2.05 ERA combined between the two levels with 110 strikeouts and 87 two-thirds innings. Sprout was just recently promoted to Triple-A Syracuse and is generating talk about if he can be potential value and add in the big league bullpen in September. He has excellent stuff of a fastball that sits in the mid-90s and can touch triple digits, though throughout the season you have seen him scale back velocity as games go on. His best secondary offering is his changeup with plus arm side fade. He also has a hard slider, cutter, sweeper, and a curveball that's more of a get-me-over type of pitch. Sprout has a clean, easy, repeatable delivery that has allowed his control and command to take a big step forward in pro baseball. At the Double-A level, he walked only 2.2 batters per 9 innings. Whether he makes his big league debut in 24 or not, he's on the fast track to Queens. They say 2025. Number 6. This is a guy we know about. Ronnie Mauricio. Mauricio's missing the 24 season after tearing his ACL in the Dominican Winter League. He went to spring training 25, likely in competition for a spot at either second or third. He will never get on base at a high clip, but has special batted ball data. It will be interesting to see how Mauricio bounces back athletically from the ACL injury. He had 7 stolen bases in only 26 big league games in 2023. We'll see. That's a big question about his speed. At number 7, infielder, outfielder Luis Angel Acuna. Acuna's had an up and down season for AAA, and it started slow. Then he got hot between May and June, where he hit .290 with .342 on base percentage with 18 stolen bases. Power's not going to be a big part of his game, and he has an average plate discipline. So that in a way caps his upside. He's going to be reliant on his improved bat-to-ball skills and his plus speed. Acuna is a dynamic athlete with the potential to steal 30-plus bases at the next level and play all 3 up the middle position. Now, he stole over 50 bases last year, and they got him for Max Scherzer. Number 8, outfielder Carson Bench. Mets 2024 first-round pick out of Oklahoma State. Was a two-way player in college, but the expectations as of now is that he would focus strictly on hitting and pro ball. He has strong plate discipline and contact ability to go with above average power, raw power, primarily to the opposite field right now. Mets Vice President of Baseball of Amateur Scouting, Chris Gross, told us on the Mets pod that as Bench grows and learns to pull the ball, he could be a player who hits in New York for a long time. Defensively, the plan is to send him out as a center fielder, but may translate best in right field and with his strong arm. Number 9, right-handed pitcher Blade Tidwell. Tidwell has not had the same success at the AAA level that he did in AA. The home runs are up, the walks are up, and the strikeouts are down. It's important to note that AAA is a more offensive-driven league that utilizes the automated ball strike challenge system where you can get away with pitches that are just missing being called strikes. It places a higher importance on throwing good strikes. On the positive side, Tidwell's stuff profile really is the same as it was in AA. It is a fastball up to 97 with a sweeper, split change, and cutter. He needs to throw more strikes at the AAA level, and when he does, they need to be better strikes. Tidwell still has the potential to be a number 3 or number 4 type starter the possibility if the command doesn't take that step forward to end up in the bullpen. They say next year. Number 10, Nolan McLean. I can no longer write two-way player Nolan McLean as he has officially given up hitting in pro ball and will be focusing exclusively on pitching. The difficulty in developing both at the professional level is so difficult, and that's what makes Shohei Ohtani unique. McLean had an adjustment period going from high A to double A, resulting in the biggest jump in minor league baseball. The Mets are limiting his outings to 4 or 5 innings per game, as he has had his first full year pro ball transitioning from college reliever to pro starter. In his last 5 starts, he has a 3.13 ERA, 23 innings, striking out 19. Importantly, his walks are down to 3.2 per 9, which is stark improvement from his last year of college. He has a big league ready fastball that's up to 98 miles per hour and a sweeper. He also throws a changeup and a curveball that needs some development. McLean is a high floor pitcher, and if starting doesn't work out, he could be a 2-pitch late inning reliever. It's really like what they have seen from him as a starter, though, and intend to continue to develop him as one of knowing the fallback option they have. Now, I would mention he also went from Oklahoma, and he played with Carson Bench, by the way. He's expected to be with the Mets and make his debut next year. Number 11, left-handed pitcher Jonathan Santu. The Mets' 2024 second-round pick was recruited to Duke in high school, where he was primarily a hitter over a pitcher. He was a two-way player for most of his collegiate career, with 2024 being the first season that he fully focused on pitching. He comes equipped with a fastball that will get up to 96 miles per hour, a plus slider, and a changeup that has a feel for and flashes plus but lacks consistency due to being a new pitch he's still learning. Santu will need some work on his command, but he's athletic on the mound and has a starter's bill with an easy, repeatable delivery. Let's believe that he has mid-rotation or better potential. Interesting. 2026. Number 12, Colin Houck. Houck is a raw prospect who has had a tough first year in pro ball. He was the Mets' first pick in the draft last year, after he was a two-sport star both in baseball and as a quarterback. He has a chance for above-average power, having shown flashes of plus exit velocity, but he has swung and missed too much this season. Houck is a good athlete with a good work ethic and some baseline tools. If you could put them together in a game, he could be an average to above-average regular. At number 12, infielder Jesus Baez. Baez has above-average power and was second in the Florida State League with 10 home runs prior to his promotion in High A Brooklyn. He has tapped into his raw power while only striking out 16% of the time. The Mets have been very impressed with his improved play at the plate while maintaining his barrel rate and plus exit velocities. Baez likely profiles best as a third baseman long term. At number 14, right-handed pitcher Jonah Tong. Another big player development win in 2024 is what Tong has provided. SNY spoke to Tong in May, which you can monitor. He has exceptional swing and miss stuff, a special fastball that rarely will top 95 miles per hour, but gets elite levels of induced vertical break on it. Tong couples that with an old school 12-6 curveball. He's working on a cutter and a changeup to round out his arsenal. He's posted 3.36 ERA, 15 starts for High A Brooklyn, striking out 88 and 64 in the third innings. Tong has a wide range of possible outcomes, but he's one of the most intriguing arms in the system. And they say 2026. Number 15. I'm halfway through the list. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video and leave comments in the comment section. I'm analyzing this prospect list. It's all, we don't know. There might be a guy that's maybe in the 20s or might not even be a guy listed to become a big star. We saw that with Jacob deGrom. He was not a big prospect and he didn't get to be a big player until he came in the majors many years ago. Number 15, catcher Kevin Parada. A lot of people have counted Parada out as he had a slow start to his professional career after coming with such high expectations as the number 11 overall pick in 2022. While his strikeout rate is higher than you'd expect, since June 20th, Parada has hit 284 with 386 on base percentage, a 450 slugging percentage for an 835 OPS with Double-A Binghamton. He's emerged as a leader on that team and works diligently and improving behind the plate. If Parada can turn his success over the last 6 to 7 weeks into consistent performance, there's still starting catcher potential here. If not, he can be an offensive first backup. Number 16, infielder Jeremy Rodriguez. The return in last season's Tommy Pham trade was a prospect the Mets had looked at prior to him landing with the Diamondbacks as their top international signing in 2023. Rodriguez has above-average plate discipline and back-the-ball skills, but needs more physical maturation to truly impact the baseball. He had a solid 2024 with the FCL Mets, hitting .282 in 50 games, but he just turned 18 years old, so there is plenty of room to grow. Defensively, he likely profiles best at second base, but does show good actions at shortstop. And number 17, right-handed pitcher Nate Dohm. Dohm was the Mets' 2024 third-round selection out of Mississippi State. He got off to a strong start as the Friday night starter before suffering a forearm strain that caused him to miss a couple of months. He was able to return near the end of the season for a few abbreviated outings. Gross told SNY that Dohm is healthy and that at the MLB Draft Combine, he was back to his normal self. He throws his fastball in the low to mid-90s, and it will touch 97 from a low release with good extension. He has an above-average slider and an average curveball and changeup to complete his 4-pitch mix. Had Dohm not gotten injured, he might have found himself in the top 2-round territory. It's a good project for the Mets pitching development system. As you know, the Mets have the pitching lab. Number 18, right-handed pitcher Dom Hamill. And the pitching lab was something that people were crediting to the improvement of some of the Met pitchers, particularly Brandon Sprout, Jonah Tong, and obviously this very quick improvement by Nolan McLean after he gave up being an everyday player. Dom Hamill's first foray in AAA has been a bit of a roller coaster. He has had some exceptional outings and some tough ones. I speculated before the season that he could be negatively impacted by the ABS system, and his walks have jumped up in a significant way. That being said, the stuff profile is the same as it was when he was successful in AA. It's a 5-pitch mix with a fastball that is mostly 92-94, but can get up to 96. A slider with plus spin rates and a cutter, a curveball, and changeup. Hamill looks like a back-end starter or a potential multi-inning reliever, and his bulldog-like nature on the mound may play well in that role. I expect him to be with the Mets next year. Number 19, infielder Marco Vargas. Vargas has had mostly a lost 24 season due to injury. He's gotten into just 22 games for Low A St. Lucie, where he hit 235. However, when he is right, he boosts plus plate discipline and outstanding bat-to-ball skills. Vargas joined the Mets organization in the trade that sent Dave Robertson to Miami, not too dissimilar from Rodriguez. He needs more physical maturation to tap into extra base hit power, but there's everyday second base potential here. They say 2027, so he's a long ways away. Number 20, right-handed pitcher Mike Vasil. Vasil had his first strong month at AAA in July, where he posted a 3.38 ERA across 32 innings. I would mention about Vasil, he was in the Futures game last year. He needs to carry that success over the rest of the season. He still has the potential to be a back-end type of starter, perhaps a swingman reliever, capable of going strong multiple innings. They say next year with the Mets. Number 21, catcher Giovanni Rodriguez. Rodriguez was the Mets' top international signing this past January and getting a deal for $2.85 million. I had the opportunity to talk to him. It doesn't matter there. At the time of his signing, MLB Pipeline ranked him as the number 6 prospect in the 2024 international signing class. Rodriguez comes with a 70-grade throwing arm and natural feel to receive the ball behind the plate. Offensively, shows the ability to barrel the ball and has above-average raw power. He's a long way away with a wide range of possible outcomes, but he's a prospect the Mets are very high on. He's actually kind of considered, in other reports, the Mets' best catching prospect, right off the bat. Number 22, outfielder Alex Ramirez. Ramirez has above-average tools across the board, but he's not been able to implement them in-game with consistency. He's a hard worker, and he worked on shortening his swing last winter. In spots, it has been good, but he hasn't been able to put together a long string of success. He's a good athlete who can roam center field and is impactful on the base pass, where he leads the Eastern League with 31 stolen bases. He's still just 21, but he needs to find consistency at the plate to live up to his potential. They're saying for him, 2026. Outfielder Nick Morbido. Morbido was a pop-up prospect in the 2022 MLB draft out of high school in Washington, D.C. He was not a regular at the Major League showcase events, but displayed a wide range of tools that enticed the Mets to use the 75th overall pick and give him a $1 million signing bonus. He has turned the tools into on-base performance. And he split between Double-A and Double-A, Low-A St. Lucie and High-A Brooklyn this year, and he's hit .316 with 47 stolen bases. He can stand to physically mature some to help him impact the baseball more. Morbido is an exciting athlete who can play all three outfield spots, and has potential to rise up this list even more if he can grow from his strong 24 season next year at the Double-A level. He's a guy to keep an eye on. He really is. Infielder Boston Barrow. Barrow was the Mets' 8th round pick in the 23 draft out of high school in California. The Mets signed him for $700,000, and one of the focuses of his first offseason was put on weight as he was a lanky 175 pounds when drafted. He is now north of 190 pounds. Barrow has had a strong first season with Low-A St. Lucie, posting a .287 batting average. He has a line drive approach with an emphasis on putting the ball in play that should lead to doubles and some home runs as he continues getting bigger and stronger. Defensively, the Mets have exposed Barrow to short, second, and third base. He has looked most natural at third. They say 2027 for him. At number 25, catcher Ronald Hernandez. Second prospect acquired from the Marlins, Roy Robinson, is having a strong season. As a 20-year-old in Low-A, he is tied for 5th in the league in batting average and 6th in on-base percentage. Power isn't a big part of his game, but he truly puts up a professional at bat trying to spray liners and where it counts. Hernandez is bilingual, which helps him his communication leadership skills as a catcher, where he's an average receiver and thrower. He may not translate as a future big league starter, but he has the ingredients of a potential backup catcher. At number 26, Jacob Reamer. Reamer suffered a torn hamstring during spring training and did not get back into game action until July 9th. He has played in 14 games and has recently made his way back to High-A Brooklyn, which was going to be where the Mets started him this year. He's a strong 6'1", 210 pounds, possessing above-average raw power that shows more in batting practice than in game right now. He has a plus eye at the plate. Defensively, he has made strides at third and has played some first. There is also a chance the Mets try him in left field at some point. At number 27, shortstop Trey Schneider. The Mets' 2024 fifth-round pick is a player the Mets were very excited to be able to draft. They gave Schneider a well above slot signing bonus of $1.32 million to sign him away from the reigning College World Series champion Tennessee Volunteers. He may not have the loudest tools in the class, grading out currently average to above average across the board. He is described as a true baseball player who does the little things well. Schneider attended a Mets workout in Dallas and he put on a show, as Gross put it. Schneider projects as a shortstop who can run and throw and plays in a tenacious way on the field. He also won the Mets over in the pre-draft interviews with the type of person he is off the field. And they say 2028 for him. Outfielder at number 28, Eli Sano. Sano, the Mets' 2024 fourth-round pick, is someone Gross had his eye on since high school. He attended the same academy in high school as Ryan Clifford. At the same time, were some who thought Sano was the better prospect. Clifford went on to sign with the Astros, whose scouting department was then led by Gross, prior to being traded to the Mets and the Verlander deal, while Sano ended up in college. Standing at 6'5" and 201 pounds, the power that was expected to come in college for Sano didn't really develop as expected. He has plus bat-to-ball skills, good approach to the plate. If he can add some strength and work on lofting the ball more consistently, there is a chance for the power potential we had in high school to become more of a reality in pro ball. Defensively, he played first, left, and even some center field in college. Most scouts believe his future is likely in left field. Number 29, catcher Pederson Gutierrez. Gutierrez was the Mets' top international signing in 23 when he inked a deal for $1.9 million. In 29 games split between the Dominican Summer League and the Florida Complex League, Gutierrez is hitting .309 with a .974 OPS with 10 doubles, 2 home runs, and 13 RBIs. He's impressed with his plan to plate and ability to put the barrel on the ball. With 16 walks against only 9 strikeouts. He also has above average raw power, but that right now is showing up in game as line drive gap power. Defensively, he is raw, but has above average arm strength. And finally, number 30, Edward Lantigua. Lantigua signed the Mets this past January as a 17-year-old for $950,000. He's very projectable, 6'3" and 174 pounds. He has split his season between the Mets and the 2 Dominican Summer League teams, both an 877 OPS, and he was named a DSL All-Star. Despite his raw build, he has shown power. He has shown some impressive exit velocities, which provides some hope that he can develop more power as he matures. Lantigua is a good athlete who scouts believe should stick in center field. So this is the top 30 prospects according to SNY. I mean, you can quibble with who's number 1, where they go, who's number 1, number 10, But this is pretty accurate. I mean, there could be a couple guys that could have been included at the bottom of this list. But this is pretty good. I mean, this is a pretty general list to begin with. And you got some really exciting prospects. The guys at the top of the list that excite me is Jeb Williams, Drew Gilbert, Ryan Clifford, Brand Sprout. I mean, these guys excite me a lot. Ryan Maurice, I can't wait to see him again. Get a little more extensive look at him. We only got a chance to see him for a month. Carson Bench, I'm looking forward to seeing him in a few years. So this is the Mets list. I hope you like me talking about it. If you like me talking about it some more, we do all kinds of stuff here, but primarily Mets prospects, and this is the draft. Drafted players are in here. This list will change during the offseason. Maybe somebody will get traded in a move, or maybe they'll bring in somebody. This is constantly changing, as you know. And, of course, players will graduate off the list and be major leaguers or considered major leaguers. Looks like Christian Scott's going to be off this list very soon. So, thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to Prospect Hut.